Good morning, everybody. It is a brisk 41 degrees right now. It was probably quite a bit cooler at sunrise, but we are headed down to the Georgia coastal plain today to search for really anything we can find. We're going to try mostly cruising new roads. It would be particularly nice to voucher some southern hognose snakes in this area where there aren't many records. So we're going to get to driving. It's pretty decent conditions today, not my favorite weather, but I expect we'll at least see something of interest. So let's get to it. All right, first snake of the day on a new road. We have a little fresh baby eastern hognose. Look at him. Look at this little dude. He is just absolutely soaking up the sun after that chilly overnight. This is exactly the kind of thing I was hoping we'd be seeing today. And hopefully we'll see a couple of different species on the road taking advantage of this kind of end-of-season warm spell. I'm going to see if I can pick this guy up. We'll see how he reacts. A lot of times hognoses are pretty dramatic. Oh, yeah, there we go. Just a tiny little dude. Come here, bud. Let's see if we can get him up on my hand and we'll get him out of the road. This guy's definitely got some interesting yellow coloration to him. He might end up growing up to be a little more tannish rather than solid black like a lot of the adults in this area. Go on, little dude. You can hear all those crows. You don't want to be anywhere near those things. Gave me a little bit of poop there. Oh, I don't know what really triggered him there at the end to play dead, but I'm going to go put him over here where he'll be safe. Tuck him in the leaf litter where a crow's not going to find him, and he can come back on his own when he's ready. I say new road. I have been cruising this road for a couple years now, but this is the first time I've ever found anything of significance alive on it. I have seen a dead pine snake here too, so we know there's cool stuff here. We just have to find it. All right, we're closing in on noon, 73 degrees. Feels pretty good, and we just got our first snake of the day. Hopefully the next few hours will produce. What is this dude doing? You all good, big guy? Looks like a statue sitting here in the road next to this old hat. What you got going on, big guy? You need to get out of the road. Look, you are very handsome, but not everybody is going to be as aware while driving down the road as me, so we don't want you to get hit by a car. Go on and make your way up the embankment, get out of here, or go across the road. I don't really care which one. It looks like he came from over there based on the tracks, and it looks like that's where he wants to go. I have a hitchhiker. All right, everyone, I'm stretching my legs for a little bit. I'm gonna walk in and flip a few things. I'm hoping it's not too hot. We've got some kind of hazy drifting cloud cover that's definitely dampening the UV a little bit, but I'm gonna keep my eyes on the ground and see if we can spot something while we're walking in to check these flips. All right, guys, well, my hiking detour has been completely fruitless so far, although I did set up a little bit of flip for next spring that looked really good. All right, what is this guy? End of the day, Simus on a new road? Heck yeah. Man, it's been so long since I found one of these in a new spot. As you can tell, there's some cows. Well, this is certainly one of my most significant finds of the year. Getting these guys in a certain area of Georgia is particularly easy, and then once you get outside of that really small radius, they become a very difficult snake to find. And getting one here at the end of the day on a pretty tough day all around is a major win, and on top of that, it's a little baby. This year's baby, which indicates this population is at least doing decently well if they're able to reproduce. You can see, here's his trail behind him, very, very subtle. We'll just make sure he gets out of the road safely, and we'll continue on. Really, really nice way to end the day if we don't see anything else, though, but I'm hoping this evening window will be productive. All right, everyone, we're back at it again. We got some dogs in the road already, first thing in the morning. Look at these guys. Pretty serious dogs. All right, well, hopefully we'll see some snakes today. Another very cold start, in the 30s when I left this morning, but it is already 63 degrees here at almost 11 a.m. You can see we've kind of got like a hazy layer of cloud cover going this morning. It's nothing that's gonna like keep the temperature super cool or anything, but it might be just enough to help us see in the shadows a little bit better. Visibility in this kind of habitat is really important, and on cloudy days it's definitely a lot better. So this is a funny plant to come across when you're walking through tall grass in an area you see a lot of rattlesnakes. From what I can tell, this is showy rattlebox, and it's actually a non-native plant from Asia, but coincidentally it's growing right here next to where I've seen multiple big diamondbacks. Definitely a little bit nerve-wracking to be walking through an area thinking about some of the biggest rattlesnakes I've ever seen, and then bump into one of these. All right, guys, it's 2:30 in the afternoon. I had pretty much given up hope on seeing anything today, and all of a sudden there is a pine snake sitting in the road. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. What a beautiful little snake. This guy definitely skews a little more northern than Florida in terms of his phenotype. This is an intergrade zone between the northern and Florida pine snakes, so you get some snakes that look like one, some snakes that look like the other, and then a lot of snakes that look somewhat in between like this guy. But a beautiful little snake, definitely one of the prettiest pines I've seen. They're always different looking when they're babies. No two pines in this area really look alike, so it's always exciting to see them. And my only regret is that it's not a big adult. This little guy does not appear to be in much hurry to scoot off, maybe because of how cool it is today. This is definitely one of the coldest overnights I've ever found a pine snake after. It was 38 degrees when I left home this morning. Probably a little bit warmer than that here, but definitely not by much. Maybe in the, I'd say around 40 at the very warmest. But a beautiful little pine snake is potentially our only snake of the day today, which is really just ridiculous. I don't think I've even cruised a coach whip in the coastal plain yet this fall. It's just been all quality. Not that coach whips aren't quality, but they're normally one of the more common things we see. And this year I got a pine before I coach whip. Honestly, I'm not even sure if I've seen a coach whip in the coastal plain at all since spring, which is pretty wild. But this guy's finally starting to boogie off, so we'll let him continue into the safety of this bush here probably before we move along. Well, I drove around for a number of hours after the pine snake and did not see anything else, so I think I'm going to get my feet on the ground for a little bit. We've got a weird, afternoon haze kind of blowing in, so I'm going to try to flip a little bit of 10 to end the day, and hopefully we'll see something. Still hoping to see our second snake of the day. Kind of ridiculous. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's been so long. It has been so long. That's my first king snake since I think July, and the first one I've flipped since probably June. Whew. Well, this is almost certainly a new snake. I don't recognize it. It's my first fall king of the year. It's almost November. It took me until now to get one. And in an area that does not give them up easily. That is fantastic. Let's get a look at him. Oh my God. No, 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 no. Please stop. Stop this. Holy cow, you are beautiful. Oh my goodness, it's been so long. All right, that is unbelievable. Looks like this is a big female king snake, I think. You can see she's got a fairly short tail. Oh my goodness, what a beauty. This has easily been the worst king snake drought I've had since I started this YouTube channel, and one of the worst herping droughts overall. That's the snake cloaca, by the way. It's not bleeding or anything, that's just his butt. Look at the black belly on this thing. Almost the entire thing is black. It's got some weird little stripes down the belly as well. Just a fantastic king snake. First king snake we've seen in a while, and potentially our last of the year. I really hope that's not the case, but it is getting cold. Like I said, it was in the 30s last night. All right, I double checked and compared photos, and this is in fact a new snake. I was really curious, so very, very cool. The first new snake I found at this spot in a couple of years. We've really only seen 2 individual king snakes here. It's either a low density area or they're just kind of difficult to track down out here, and I'm not sure which one it is, but a very, very pretty snake, and about as good of a second snake of the day as we could ask for. Here's a look at this guy in the shade, just so you can see how they look slightly different in the shade. This guy's reflecting my orange vest because hunting season has begun, so I'm making sure to wear fluorescent orange when I'm in the field for visibility reasons. But beautiful eastern kingsnake. We'll let her go back in her tin. All right, beautiful. There you go. Look at these spots going down the tail here. Oop. All right, y'all, well, I've flipped almost everything, set up a little bit more tin for next time, and I think I'm gonna call it a day. I am very happy with how today went. Still might find another snake or two here at the end. I'm gonna keep trying for a little bit longer, but the sun's getting low in the sky, and it's getting to be that time of year where it gets dark a lot earlier, so we have pretty limited time to work with. I'm gonna call it a day here, and I will see you guys next time I get out. All right, you guys are gonna have to ignore the construction noises behind me, but I just found our first turtle of the day today. We are back on the baby loggerhead game. Look at that. Another fresh one. Let's look around and see if we can find some more siblings. As you can see, there's a lot of detritus for them to hide in right here. And I don't see any others just yet, but I'm gonna keep looking. All right, Greg just nabbed our first adult loggerhead of the afternoon. This is a different creek from where we were catching them. I guess it probably in the previous episode, depending on what comes out next, but big dark adult male. This is a male?
Yeah, that's a male.
Yeah. But we'll let him go. Hoping for some more babies and maybe some babies of different species. We've been rolling in loggerheads lately, but having a hard time finding much of anything else. Greg's over here sniffing pot.
Now it's
Nice. Stink pot corner produces our first stink pot of the day. Classic looking stink pot though, got nice bold stripes on the face. Nice looking turtle. This is one of the few places where we get like really good numbers of stink pots right alongside loggerheads.
Yeah.
It's just a perfect clash of microhabitats for both of the musk turtles. He's being very unshy with us. It's a really good look at his head. Water here is not super clear, but it's clear enough you could hopefully make this guy out on the bottom. Big yellow loggerhead. All right, Greg just spotted something really cool. We're not going to get very good video of it because we don't want to disturb him, but that is
kind of more this way.
loggerheads mating.
So,
Oh yeah, you were in the sweet spot right there. Look at that. So there's a Nerodia sticking his head out right there, and then Greg caught this. It's a very like iron-rich, mud-soaked loggerhead. Really weird looking. Here's this guy, and then Greg just spotted Baskin baby loggerhead. That's so weird. Let's see that pink belly so I can show him what like the natural. That's like the natural pink color, and then this is the stained on mud orange coloration. All right, there's Mr. Nerodia, and then right here under the stick is another hatchling. Look, he's still got his little umbilical spot. All right, I wasn't able to catch the Nerodia, but I did find yet another little loggerhead. So that's 3 little hatchlings right here, including the one that was basking that we let go already. All right, little guys, stay away from that Nerodia. He might eat you. All right, well, the snake action today has been really limited, but there is a nice big chunky cottonmouth sitting right here. Greg and I are scouting out a new spot here at the end of the day. I got a feeling this guy's about to, oh, yep, do that. That was kind of crazy. It was almost like a strike, but obviously I'm way back here, so I was in no danger. We'll continue on.
what do? Do you have like the freak out?
He did like the bluff strike and then dive into the water. Yeah, we're going to be spending quite a bit of time in this creek in the future. We got 2 cottonmouths basking right here. Look at that. What an awesome spot already. We've been here like 5 minutes and we've seen 3 cottons. All right, I just flipped 2 southern leopard frogs under this log. Let's see if I can show you this other one. He's a little bit prettier. Pretty cool. We don't see these guys outside of the winter super often, and we rarely get two of them under one log like this. Very common frogs, just kind of weird, very seasonal. It's always really weird when you find a spot like this. Like Greg and I were just talking about how we've been tromping all around this place and never realized it was here until today. All the potential we've missed out on over the years not coming here.